Hello friends, followers and channel members, welcome back to the channel. So I've been away on holiday for the last week or so and was really excited to come back and discover that the long-awaited fly-by-wire A380's release is now imminent. Yes, 4 years we've been waiting for the Airbus A380 since the fly-by-wire team, small at the start, now huge in the number of developers, announced that they were going to bring the Titanic of the skies into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, of course, is also just around the corner. In this video today, we're going to be having a look at what we can expect from the A380 when it comes out. What will be working, what won't be working, performance, and a host of other things, so stay tuned. So their plan is to release the A380X, as they're calling it, in what's known as an open alpha stage. This is essentially the first series of testing. Now, if there's one thing we've learned from the wonderful fly-by-wire team over the years, it's that they never release anything that they're not really happy with. That's not to say that this will be anywhere near the end product, but it's certainly going to be far better than a lot of, I believe, commercial aircraft that are currently available on the market. And so this is essentially just going to be a developer preview, much like the A320X was when it first released. Lots of great stuff in that, and of course over time it continued to be the wonderful freeware A320neo that we have to fly today. And the team have been quite open and transparent about this, saying that once this alpha edition gets released, then they will look to continuously build and work on this with information and help provided by the community, building it over the next 1 or 2 years. Now that sounds like a long time to get a finished product, but it's a team of freeware developers all doing this for absolutely no commercial gain, which, as we've seen over the last 4 years of the A320X being built, they have got a fantastic pedigree. So that's not to say, however, that this plane will be unflyable from the start. Absolutely not. No, this plane in fact will get you quite comfortably from A to B. And yes, it is good enough to fly on VATSIM. So we can expect things like the holding functions, different kinds of approaches, all being able to work right from the off. Now let's touch upon performance. What we can expect from the A380X is that it's going to operate at around a 25% less FPS than you get with the A320X, and that is essentially just because of all the things going on in the background, the modeling that is done at the moment. Really, the team are pushing the boundaries of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and what they can do, so there is going to be a slight performance hit compared to its smaller Airbus counterpart. Now, the aircraft itself will be, by their own admission, rather fragile in its state when it comes out. It is definitely not a finished project. If you try and do unusual things that you wouldn't normally do during the safe operations of an aircraft, then there is the chance that you're going to break it. It will release with their recently updated Flight Management System version 2, all implemented, so lots of things like holdings and the kinds of stuff you get in the A320X should be included. All of the flight displays will be working correctly, and they've even included the Airbus's electronic checklists, not just for normal standard operating procedures, but they've also added some abnormal procedures in there as well, which could come in quite useful, as over 140 failures are also going to be available to the user via the EFB, although they do state at this stage full simulation of those is not fully guaranteed. But under the hood, all the electrical, pneumatic, environmental, pressurization, etc., APUs, fire protections, they are currently all fully modeled with all of the inner components, logic, etc. working. So it sounds like it is going to be a fantastic place to start. For those of you that love seeing those wing flex moments, then you're going to have this as well, which you'll notice greatly on rotation and of course during landing. But there is some work still to do with flaps and slats. Another really neat feature that the team have brought into this right from the start is the brake to vacate option. This essentially helps the pilot manage the braking action of the aircraft on landing to try and stop the aircraft ready to vacate the runway onto a designated taxiway of your predetermined choice. This means you're going to have to pay a little bit more attention to the stopping distance of the aircraft, and I'm looking forward to seeing this in action once we get it released. Like the A350 as well, this aircraft comes with the onboard airport navigation system included. Seeing the screenshots of this on the navigation display, it looks stunning. So I think that is going to be a really neat addition, and I can't wait to check this out live, because it's something that if you're flying at an unfamiliar airport, which a lot of pilots generally can do and find themselves heading into far flung off places with an aircraft of this side operating on long haul, it is very, very useful. That said, of course, it is also going to be worth making sure you check your Navigraph charts, because most airports have specific taxiways and taxi routes that the A380 has to follow. You should also find this big bird quite easy to taxi as well. They've done a lot of work with the landing gear and the taxi systems, all fully and realistically simulated, with a function called a heading control function, which assists the taxiing of the aircraft because it automatically will counteract any crosswind or ground slope without any extra input from yourself, the pilot. When the aircraft is released, it will come with the FlyPad version 3, and this will support the loading of flight plans, loading of the payload, fuel, etc. And they've also said that support for GSX will be included either when it's released or very soon afterwards. And whilst yes, this is an Airbus aircraft and you're confident flying the Airbus A320, then you should find a lot of similar systems on the A380. However, of course, there are some big differences, but not to worry, because there will be plenty of tutorials here on this channel, and also the Fly-by-Wire team have been working closely with type-rated A380 pilots and will be releasing a full documentation manual, so you too will be able to sift through that and get the best out of this aircraft when it's released. Finally then, before we leave, we need to chat about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Now, at this current time, this aircraft will not yet be compatible with Flight Sim 2024 when it comes out. Now, that doesn't mean to say you wouldn't actually be able to load into the simulator with the A380X, but not everything is going to work properly. This, of course, will be updated over time, but with regards to how long that is going to take, the Fly-by-Wire team are quite rightly saying they're not going to pop a timescale on this. And in addition to that, the career mode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you will not be able to utilize the A380X. And that is just because the career mode is going to be limited to aircraft that are available through the Microsoft Flight Simulator marketplace. Of course, the Fly-by-Wire aircraft are not available through that and have no plans to be, but also means that sadly the Phoenix aircraft is also going to suffer the same result. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this announcement. Are you excited for the A380, or is it not an aircraft you're particularly interested in? Are you going to take it for a spin? I don't see any reason why you shouldn't, particularly as it is going to be freeware. I'm very excited, can't wait to show this off live on stream once it's available, and yeah, would love to hear your comments and look forward to reading those down below. Of course, the A380 flies to some wonderful airports, which we've got in great detail now thanks to the hardworking developers, so now would be a great time to pick up some scenery ready for those long haul flights. Make sure if you're purchasing from the Contrail store, our channel partner, use the discount code down below and save yourself 10% on your entire basket. Also, check out the link to Innibuilds as well, who do some awesome airports that the A380s fly to as well. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, of course, please don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button, turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos and, of course, our live streamed flights. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all again in the next one. Bye bye for now.